Hello, my friends. Dr. Hale here. Have you noticed the headlines flipping back and forth about fish, with one story praising salmon for your heart and the next warning about mercury? If you are over 60, you may be wondering which fish truly help your brain, joints, and legs, and which ones quietly work against you. Stay with me because today I am going to make this simple, memorable, and doable, and I will open a couple of helpful loops right now. In a moment, I will share the four fishes I rarely recommend for older adults because of mercury or other concerns. The four I reach for again and again. The 2-minute kitchen trick that can lower the sodium load in many canned options, and the budget can that can quietly beat a pricey fillet for bones and joints. And yes, I will also give you the one spice you likely already own that can tame fishy smell and may calm your stomach. Before we begin, a quick and important note. This is general education, not personal medical advice. Our bodies, medications, and histories are all different. If you take blood thinners, have gout, have kidney or heart conditions, or have any allergies, please check with your clinician or pharmacist before changing your diet or adding supplements. Now, why talk about fish at all after 60? As we age, we tend to lose muscle, especially in the legs, which can affect balance and confidence. Many fish are rich in high-quality protein that may help your muscles rebuild after simple daily activity. They often carry omega-3 fats, especially EPA and DHA, which research suggests can support heart health, brain function, eye health, and may help calm low-grade inflammation that makes joints feel stiff. Many fish also bring vitamin D and B12, nutrients that some older adults do not get enough of. There is also selenium and iodine that help your thyroid and antioxidant defenses. This package can be like a gentle tune-up for your body, and the best part is you can get it in a 3 to 4 ounce portion, which is roughly the size of a deck of cards or the palm of your hand. If you're thinking, that sounds good, but I do not want complicated cooking or a fishy kitchen, I hear you. We are going to keep this very down to earth with practical swaps and easy methods. And yes, if standing in the kitchen is tough, I will offer seated options you can do while the oven warms, so you're taking care of your legs while dinner takes care of you. First, let us name the four fishes I recommend most often for folks over 60. Pick any 2 or 3 of these in your week, and you will cover a lot of bases. Salmon is the classic. It is rich in omega-3 fats, it is satisfying, and it is usually easy to find fresh, frozen, or canned. A 3 to 4 ounce cooked portion is plenty for most people. If fresh salmon is pricey, frozen fillets are often more budget-friendly and cook up just as well. Canned pink salmon or sockeye are wonderful, and the versions with soft bones provide calcium that may support bones and teeth. Sardines are my second favorite for pure nutrition per dollar. They are small fish low on the food chain, which usually means lower mercury. They bring omega-3s, protein, vitamin D, and calcium when packed with soft bones. One small can is often around 3 to 4 ounces, which is a perfect single meal. If you use sardines in oil, you can drain the oil and even give them a brief rinse to lighten the flavor, which brings us to that 2-minute trick soon. Trout is my third go-to, especially rainbow trout. It is mild, tender, and often raised in clean freshwater systems. It delivers omega-3s and lean protein without a strong fish aroma, which can make it appealing for those who are new to fish. If you find it in the freezer case, that is fine. Thaw it safely in the refrigerator, then bake or pan-sear with a little lemon. Pollock takes the fourth spot. Alaska pollock is the gentle workhorse of the fish world. It is mild, versatile, and low in mercury. If you have ever had a fish taco at a restaurant and loved it, there is a good chance it was pollock. Choose plain frozen fillets rather than breaded versions if you want to keep sodium and refined oils down. Bake with a squeeze of lemon and a touch of olive oil, and you are set. These four cover a wide range of tastes and budgets. Now let me tie in why this matters after 60 in a simple way. Imagine your week as a little rhythm for your muscles and brain. On 2 or 3 days, you enjoy a palm-sized portion of one of these fish at lunch or dinner. You pair it with a cup of veggies and a small serving of beans or a half cup of whole grains. That plate gives you protein to feed your muscles, omega-3s that may calm cranky joints, and fiber that helps your gut. If you do just 2 minutes of gentle leg work before you sit down to eat, such as seated ankle pumps or slow marching from a chair, you send blood to those muscles so they are ready to use that protein. Seated ankle pumps are simple. Sit tall, hold the sides of your chair for balance, and point and flex your feet like you are pressing and releasing a gas pedal. Do 10 or 20 slow pumps on each foot. If you're up for a little more, try a few sit-to-stands, rising from your chair and sitting back down with control. These moves can be done while the oven preheats, and they may help your knees and ankles feel more awake. Let us talk portions and timing, because this is where people get confused. For most older adults, 2 to 3 fish meals a week at 3 to 4 ounces cooked per meal may support heart and brain health. If you love fish, having it more often can fit, but variety still matters, and we want to keep an eye on sodium and mercury. If you take anticoagulants or have upcoming surgery, or if your clinician has advised limits on omega-3 supplements, please check in with them before making big changes, especially if you are considering fish oil capsules alongside fish. Now for the first open loop I promised, the 2-minute kitchen trick. Many canned fish are convenient and affordable, but some can be higher in sodium, especially when packed in brine or sauces. If you are watching your blood pressure or your ankles swell easily, a simple step may help. Open the can, drain the liquid, and give the fish a gentle 2-minute rinse in cool water, then pat dry with a paper towel. For sardines, salmon, or light tuna, this quick rinse can remove a surprising amount of surface salt and extra oil without stripping away the protein or omega-3s. If you plan to mix the fish with a squeeze of lemon and a spoon of plain yogurt or olive oil, you will still have excellent flavor and a friendlier sodium number. Keep that trick in your back pocket anytime a label looks salty. The second open loop is the budget can that can beat a pricey fillet for bones and joints. Many people assume you need fresh seafood to get benefits. Not true. Canned options can be nutrient gold mines. I will tell you which can later and why it may help your bones in particular. Before we get to the 4 fishes I prefer that you limit, I want to show you a quick and pleasant way to cook fish without fuss. Preheat your oven to a moderate heat, around 375. Take a small fillet of salmon, trout, or pollock, about 4 ounces. Pat it dry, place it on a sheet of foil or parchment, and brush with a teaspoon of olive oil. Sprinkle with a pinch of salt if you use it, a pinch of pepper, and a squeeze of lemon. If you open your spice drawer and you see dill or ginger, dust a little on top. Dill brightens the flavor and pairs with lemon beautifully. Ginger adds warmth and, for many people, may settle the stomach. We will come back to ginger in a moment. Fold up the foil loosely to make a little tent, place it on a small pan, and bake for about 12 minutes, or until the fish is opaque and flakes with a fork. That is all. There is no heavy smell, very little cleanup, and a soft texture that is friendly on teeth. If you prefer the stovetop, a non-stick pan on medium with a teaspoon of oil, a gentle sear, and a splash of lemon at the end works well too. Let us open the ginger loop I mentioned. Many folks over 60 say fish tastes fine but sits heavy. Ginger, even a quarter teaspoon of the powdered spice in your marinade or sprinkled on top with lemon, may support digestion and reduce nausea for some people. Fresh grated ginger works too if you have it. The flavor is mild in this amount, and it often makes the meal feel lighter. If you avoid ginger due to interactions or personal preference, dill, parsley, or a touch of garlic can be lovely alternatives. At this point, you may be thinking, all right, Doc, I know the 4 favorites and how to cook them, but which ones are the troublemakers after 60, and how much is too much? That is exactly where we are headed next. To get there smoothly, take a slow breath with me. Roll your shoulders gently back if that feels good, and notice how a small bit of movement and a calm breath already make your body feel more ready to absorb this next piece. You do not need a chart for this part. I am going to give you one simple phrase so you can remember the 4 to limit the most, and I will attach a picture in your mind so it sticks like a magnet. The 4 I want you to limit, especially if you are over 60 and watching your nerves, memory, or balance, are these: shark, swordfish, king mackerel, and tilefish from the Gulf of Mexico. Here is your memory hook. Sharp swords, kings, and tiles belong on walls, not plates. Picture a shark with a sword, a shiny crown, and a tile background. If you can see that silly little scene, you will remember the 4 that tend to carry higher mercury. Why do these land on the limit list? Mercury builds up in big, long-lived predatory fish. Over time, it can affect the nervous system. While one meal will not make or break your health, routinely choosing these high-mercury fish is not your best bet. Research suggests that older adults may be more sensitive to the effects of mercury on memory, coordination, and feeling steady on your feet. So as a simple rule, sidestep shark, swordfish, king mackerel, and Gulf of Mexico tilefish, and reach for the 4 friendlies we talked about earlier. What about tuna, which many of us keep in the pantry? Not all tuna is the same. The lighter skipjack tuna found in most canned light tuna products tends to be lower in mercury than albacore, which is often labeled white tuna. If you enjoy tuna, choose light tuna most of the time. A small pouch of light tuna is usually about 2½ ounces drained, and it makes a fine lunch with a dollop of yogurt, a squeeze of lemon, and a handful of chopped celery or apple for crunch. If you prefer albacore for the texture, keep it as an occasional treat rather than an everyday staple. Let us talk about raw seafood and fried fish for a moment, because this can trip people up. Raw shellfish, like oysters, can carry germs that may be very hard on older adults or anyone with a weaker immune system. If you love oysters, cooked versions are the safer path. And deep-fried fish, while tasty, tends to pick up extra oil and can lose some of the delicate omega-3s to high heat. It also brings a high sodium batter if you're eating breaded fillets or fish sticks. That does not mean never enjoy a crispy fish sandwich again. It does mean that baked, broiled, air-fried at lower temperature, or gently pan-seared versions may serve your heart, blood pressure, and joints better most of the time. Now, let us bring back that 2-minute trick and put it to work with real numbers. If you buy canned fish, flip the label and look at the sodium line. If it shows 300 or 400 milligrams per serving, that can add up quickly, especially if your daily target is under 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams for blood pressure. Rinsing canned fish under cool water for about 2 minutes and patting it dry may wash away a good portion of surface salt and oil. After that, stir in your own flavor with lemon, a teaspoon of olive oil, or a spoon of plain yogurt, herbs, and a pinch of salt if needed. Most people find the taste improves and their ankles feel less puffy the next day. While we are here, let me resolve the budget can loop. The quiet champion is canned salmon with bones. Those small soft bones are edible and bring calcium. A half cup of canned salmon with bones can deliver a meaningful amount of calcium that may support bones, along with protein and omega-3s. If a $5 fresh fillet is not in the plan this week, a can of salmon often costs far less and can make 2 meals when mixed with a little mustard, lemon, and chopped onion. Form into small patties, pan-sear lightly with a teaspoon of oil, and you have easy salmon cakes. If canned salmon is not your taste, sardines are the other humble hero for bones. They usually cost just a couple of dollars and pack protein, omega-3s, vitamin D, and calcium into a tiny tin. For many people, that is the 1-2 for joints and bones on a budget. Let us address a couple of medical and safety notes quickly and clearly. If you have gout, certain fish like anchovies and sardines are higher in purines, which may trigger flares in some people. That does not mean you must avoid them forever, but it does mean experiment carefully and check with your clinician about what portion and frequency are safe for you. If you take blood thinners or medicines that affect clotting, large doses of omega-3 supplements may not be right for you. Eating fish 2 to 3 times a week is different from taking high-dose fish oil capsules. If you are considering capsules, get the green light from your clinician first. For food safety, cook fish to an internal temperature of about 145 degrees, or until the flesh is opaque and flakes easily with a fork. If you do not use a thermometer, the flake test is a good kitchen signal. Store leftovers in the refrigerator and use them within a day or two. If you are traveling to tropical areas, be careful with large reef fish that can carry toxins like ciguatera. Stick to cooked, smaller fish from trusted places. In the United States, another concern is smoked fish and salt. Smoked salmon and other smoked fish can be very high in sodium. If you are watching blood pressure or have heart failure, limit smoked options and choose fresh, baked versions more often. If you really love the flavor of smoked salmon on a bagel, try a tablespoon or 2 as a garnish rather than a large serving, and balance the meal with fresh cucumber, tomato, and a smear of lower sodium spread. Let us make things practical with a simple week. Imagine Monday lunch with a small can of light tuna, rinsed and mixed with lemon, a teaspoon of olive oil, and a spoon of plain yogurt. Serve it on half a whole grain pita with lettuce and sliced tomato. Wednesday dinner could be a 4-ounce baked salmon fillet with a squeeze of lemon and a pinch of dill, alongside a cup of steamed broccoli and a half cup of brown rice. Friday can be fish taco night using baked pollock. Break the fillet into chunks, tuck into a soft corn tortilla, add cabbage slaw, and drizzle with a lime yogurt sauce. Saturday lunch might be sardines on whole grain toast with sliced avocado and a squeeze of mustard. Each of these meals is friendly on the wallet, easy on your hands, and gentle on your digestion. If you dislike strong flavors, go milder. Trout and pollock are both mild. You can also use fish in soup. A simple chowder made with low-sodium broth, diced potatoes, onions, celery, and chunks of salmon or pollock is cozy and filling without a heavy smell. And if you're really unsure about texture, try fish cakes. Mix canned salmon with an egg, a handful of breadcrumbs or crushed whole grain crackers, onion, and a spoon of yogurt or mustard. Form small patties and cook in a non-stick pan with a teaspoon of oil. The edges get crisp, the inside stays soft, and the flavor is friendly. Earlier, I promised the one spice that most people have that can tame fishy smell and help your stomach. That is ginger. A quarter teaspoon of powdered ginger or a teaspoon of fresh grated in your lemon marinade can soften the aroma and may support digestion. Some people prefer dill for the fresh green flavor, and that works too, but ginger is the quiet helper that many folks forget. If you're on medications that interact with ginger, or if your clinician has advised against it, skip it and go with dill or parsley. Now, I want to be sure people who cannot eat fish still feel seen. If you are allergic to fish or you simply cannot stand the taste, you still have ways to support your heart and brain. Algae-based omega-3 supplements provide DHA and EPA without fish. They are useful for people who avoid fish, but as always, check with your clinician, especially if you take blood thinners. Foods with ALA, like ground flaxseed, chia seeds, and walnuts, can also help. Your body converts ALA to EPA and DHA at a limited rate, but they still contribute to a heart-friendly pattern. A tablespoon of ground flaxseed sprinkled on oatmeal or yogurt, or a tablespoon of chia seeds soaked in milk for a simple pudding, is an easy habit. Eggs enriched with omega-3s are another option if you eat eggs. None of these are one-to-one replacements for a salmon fillet, but they can move you in the right direction. We have covered the best and the ones to limit, and you have a kitchen trick to manage salt, along with a spice to calm the belly. Before we bring it home with a clear summary and a tiny weekly plan you can start tonight, let me add a quick movement idea, because the food you eat works even better when your muscles are invited to use it. While your fish bakes, sit tall and do gentle knee extensions. Straighten one knee until your heel floats off the floor, hold a breath or two, then lower and switch legs. 10 on each side is a fine start. If standing is safe for you, do a few heel raises at the counter. Hold the counter, rise onto your toes, pause, and lower. These moves wake up your calves and thighs, which is great for circulation and may help you feel steadier when you move from the kitchen to the table. Let us pull the threads together and add a couple more small guardrails so you feel confident. Fish can be a gentle, powerful tool for people over 60, but it works best when you pick the right kinds, keep portions reasonable, and prepare them in ways that match your health goals. Your core pattern can look like this without any complicated rules. Choose 2 or 3 fish meals per week. Make each portion about 3 to 4 ounces cooked, which is the size of your palm, or a deck of cards. Rotate among salmon, sardines, trout, and pollock. If you keep tuna in your pantry, favor light tuna most of the time. Lean on canned salmon with bones or sardines when the budget is tight, and use the 2-minute rinse trick to lower salt if the label looks high. Add lemon and a dusting of ginger or dill to brighten flavor and support digestion. Keep your cooking gentle. Baking, broiling, or pan-searing with a teaspoon of oil keeps omega-3s intact and limits extra fats. Avoid heavy charring. If you use an air fryer, set a moderate temperature and pull the fish as soon as it flakes. Trim away very dark, fatty bands if you notice them, and let juices drip by using a rack when broiling. These small choices may lower some unwanted compounds while keeping flavor. Keep an eye on the 4 to limit. Remember the picture: A shark with a sword, a crown, and a tile wall. Shark, swordfish, king mackerel, and Gulf of Mexico tilefish tend to be higher in mercury, so steer clear, especially if you are over 60 and want to protect your brain and balance. If you eat out, you can ask what fish is in the dish. Many places proudly serve salmon, trout, or pollock, which makes choosing easy. Be salt smart. Smoked fish, canned fish in brine, and breaded frozen fillets can load you with sodium before you even pick up the salt shaker. Rinse canned fish. Choose versions packed in water. Drain well and add your own lemon and herbs. If you truly love smoked salmon, think of it as a garnish, not the main event. For anyone managing gout, kidney disease, or on blood thinners, shape this plan with your clinician. You may still enjoy fish, but the types and portions may need personal adjustments. If fish is truly off the table for you, algae-based omega-3s and ALA-rich foods like flax, chia, and walnuts can still support your heart and brain alongside a colorful diet. I promised earlier a simple, chart-free way to start tonight, and here it is. Pick one of the 4 friendlies and bring it into your kitchen within the next week. If your store has sales, watch for frozen salmon or trout fillets in bulk bags, which can drop the price per portion. If even that feels high, buy a can of salmon or a can of sardines. Drain, rinse for 2 minutes, pat dry, and stir in lemon, a spoon of yogurt or olive oil, a pinch of pepper, and a dusting of ginger or dill. That is a meal. Add a cup of frozen mixed vegetables steamed or microwaved for 5 minutes, and you have color on the plate. If you are nervous about flavor, start with pollock and make soft tacos with cabbage and lime. If you feel unsure about bones in canned fish, remember that canned salmon and sardine bones are soft and edible. You can mash them with a fork, and they vanish into the mix, leaving you with extra calcium for bones. If texture truly bothers you, choose boneless versions at first and circle back when you feel ready. If you find yourself saying, "I cannot stand long to cook," you are not stuck. Sit at the table, line a pan with foil, place your fillet, season, and slide it into the oven. Set a timer for 12 minutes and rest. While you sit, do ankle pumps, knee extensions, or gentle shoulder rolls. When the timer dings, your meal is ready. If opening jars is hard on your hands, keep a jar gripper or rubber band nearby, and choose easy pull cans. If budget is a worry, watch store brands. Many big chains sell high-quality canned salmon and sardines at lower prices. Buying a small stack when they are on sale keeps you supplied for weeks. There are a few more subtle points that matter. Fish and medications can share the stage calmly most of the time, but be mindful of interactions. If you are on warfarin or another anticoagulant, do not add high-dose omega-3 supplements without a clinician's okay. Fish eaten a few times a week is not the same as taking capsules. If you use salt substitutes that contain potassium, check with your clinician, especially if you have kidney issues. If you track your blood sugar, you may notice that a fish meal with vegetables and a controlled portion of whole grains gives a smooth glucose curve for many people. The protein and fats in fish may help steady energy for hours, and that steadiness often translates into better evening balance and fewer late-night snack urges. For picky eaters or those with lower appetite, a fish soup can be soothing. Simmer low-sodium broth with onion, celery, carrot, and a small potato. Add bite-sized pieces of salmon or pollock and cook just until they flake. Finish with lemon and dill. The broth goes down easy, and the protein helps you wake with steady legs. If you travel, you can keep a pouch of light tuna or salmon in your bag. Pair it with whole grain crackers, a single-serve cup of fruit, and you have a balanced mini-meal at an airport or roadside stop. Drain, rinse if you have access to water, or simply pat with a napkin to reduce excess liquid. If you're wondering about environmental choices, many of the fish we discussed have good sustainability profiles. Alaska salmon and pollock are often well managed. Rainbow trout farmed in clean systems is a strong choice. Sardines are generally a low-impact fish because they grow quickly and sit low on the food chain. Checking a quick guide from a trusted source can help you pick brands that align with your values. Now take a breath with me and picture your next week. You set a small goal, 2 fish meals. You shop once, maybe you buy a frozen salmon fillet and a can of sardines. You plan a gentle baked salmon dinner with lemon and ginger one night, a sardine toast with avocado another day. You use the 2-minute rinse on the sardines if the label looks salty. You do 10 ankle pumps while the oven preheats. You drink a glass of water with your meal and sit down to eat without rushing. Your legs feel a touch steadier when you stand up. That is how these small choices add up. Let me close with a recap because I want this to be simple enough to try today. Fish can support your heart, brain, eyes, and joints after 60. The friendliest 4 are salmon, sardines, trout, and pollock. Aim for 2 or 3 palm-sized portions a week. Limit shark, swordfish, king mackerel, and Gulf of Mexico. Tilefish, remember, sharp swords, kings, and tiles belong on walls, not plates. Keep sodium down by choosing water-packed or rinsing canned fish for 2 minutes. Season with lemon and a dusting of ginger or dill. Bake, broil, or lightly pan-sear rather than deep fry. If you cannot eat fish, algae-based omega-3s and foods like flax, chia, and walnuts can still help. Pair your meal prep with short, seated leg moves to wake up your muscles. Make it gentle, make it affordable, and make it yours. If this helped you feel clearer about what to eat and what to skip, I would love to keep helping you each week, so please subscribe and share this with a friend who would enjoy a calm, practical health plan.